these people by any means necessary.
What up, folks? Welcome to another episode of the UPRYZIN podcast. My name is Big Kev. Today I am missing my co-host. He's handling some business with family. So I would like to give a special thank you on his behalf, Yardy the Drew the Yardy. Thank you for watching this video. If you happen to not be subscribed to this channel, by all means, please slam that subscribe button. Hit the bell for notifications so every time me and your boy Drew the Yardy drop that heat, then you'll be able to be notified so you can join us on our illustrious podcast. I hope everybody's doing well. I do want to give shout outs to our show sponsors today, Black Rhino Logistics. We also want to give thanks to Rare Breed Athletics. And last but not least, we would like to also thank Sledge and Hammer Apparel for supporting this show today. The topic today is just going to be some random thought that I'm having. Listen, I'm just going to jump right into this. I'm not going to pull any punches. So I'm feeling some type of way. As you guys probably have seen in other videos, I can be quite animated, so to speak. So in my animation, you have to excuse me if I do get overly animated. But at the end of the day, this is how I feel, and I think I'm not the only one that feels like this. So I saw a video, and I think a lot of you may have seen this same video. Maybe you have, maybe you haven't. I don't know. But the video was of this young lady who is a representative of Black Lives Matter.
Hey, bitch, we're live. It's live. We're like, hello.
You feel me all day, every day,
Yeah.
brown lives, you feel me? Into the streets! Into the streets! Out of the shops! Into the streets! Fuck the flag, fuck America!
Go, bitch. Go. Go. Hey, hey, hey.
Out of the shops, into the streets!
Hey, 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 hey. Okay, Lay. Okay. Drag your feet, 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 drag your feet.
Into the streets!
Out of the shops, into the streets.
Out of the shops, into the streets!
Out of the shops, into the streets. Out of the shops, into the streets.
Out of the shops, into the streets!
Out of the shops, into the streets. 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 Out of the shops.
And I don't know why BLM is just like they are taking over like a fever pitch or fever or something. I don't know. They're taking over everything. Everybody's talking about BLM. You're basically forced to choose. But anyway, so this young lady was stomping on the United States flag. I don't know how that makes you feel. I don't know how that makes a lot of you feel on the inside. I don't know if you were angry, if you would join her. I don't know what you would do if you saw her in public doing that, if you walked by and saw her doing that. I don't know what your reaction would be. I can only respond and react and say how I would react. Seeing how I am not only am I a military brat, and a military brat is a child that was raised with a military parent. My father was a 20 plus year officer in the United States Army. I don't even know if I can call black folks patriots, because our ancestors, we weren't patriots. We weren't patriots. So I don't even know if I can really classify myself as a patriot.
That might be almost
like an insult.
It might be. I don't know. It might be. It might be. And thank you for that clarification to my production manager. I don't know if that is worthy for me to say that I feel patriotic. Is that fair? I feel patriotic because I love this country, man. There is nothing that I listen. I'm not going to speak for you. I can speak for me. I love this country. I love what the opportunities that this country has beholden me, have given me, have bestowed upon me, the opportunities that are available. Now, are we where we were in 1807, 1820, 1900? Absolutely not. And for you to think that we are, there's something seriously wrong with you. We're not that. And to not address or to acknowledge the fact that we have made so many strides from where we were, for you not to acknowledge that, not only is that just intentionally being biased toward change, but you're intentionally being ignorant. If that is a fair way for me to say this, you're intentionally being ignorant. That's the only way that I can put it. So again, I don't know how you would react, but because the way that I was raised, the upbringing that I was raised with, let me give you a quick backstory. A mom and a dad, a mother and a father, both educated. They had very humble beginnings. I wasn't raised in the hood. Most of a large portion of my childhood was overseas. So I experienced a lot of different culture. And the first time that I was ever called a nigger ever in my life was in these United States. When I came back from Germany in high school, was the first time I ever experienced that word. First time I ever saw a homeless person. First time I ever saw graffiti or saw garbage on the street was when we came back, what we called the world, was when I came back here. While I was there, I experienced so many grand things. My mom used to read me and my sister bedtime stories, and a lot of you 70s babies probably can experience. Hopefully, if you were blessed enough, if you were smiled on by God above, you had a magnificent mother. I honor and cherish my mom. She is the goddess of goddesses. She is the greatest person that I have ever known to grace the face of this planet. If you were blessed enough to have that in your life, okay, then having said that, you would understand that how I feel about my mom. She read me and my sister and my brother bedtime stories. She had a book that was about that thick. I remember her reading Hansel and Gretel. I remember her reading stories of Rapunzel. I remember her reading all of these different, Little Red Riding Hood. All of these great different stories. She even got us like educational movies, and we watched The Never Ending Story, and we watched Little Pippi Longstocking, and I had a great childhood because I had two magnificent parents. My father was stern. He was fair. He was fair, but he did not play games. Okay, you messed up in school, you were grounded for 9 weeks from report card to report card. You messed up, that was it. There was no TV, there was no going outside, and I messed up quite a bit. So there were times that I really, I spent a lot of time incarcerated, so to speak, in my own house because I was a knucklehead. But they taught me values. They taught me the beauty of life. They taught me what it means to love your neighbor as yourself. They taught me what it means to be just a good person, man. When we lived over there, when we lived in Germany, now granted, this was 40 years after, the German Reich and the Nazis had their reign, and we were there when Reagan told Gorbachev to tear down that wall, and we were there. We were in war-torn Germany. We were there. We were living amongst the ashes of history. Okay. In that environment, when we would go somewhere, Germans at that time, the natives, they loved us. Some of them didn't want us there, but they were hospitable. Okay? When we would have parades or we would have some kind of event, we would hear the national anthem. And when we would hear that, at a young age, I'm getting goosebumps now. At a young age, I understood the impact and the value and the power of the United States of America. I understood what that country meant across the globe at a young age. And when we heard our national anthem, there was like water would well up in our eyes, and we would feel a sense of pride and a sense of, I love being an American citizen. I love my country. I love the people that are here with me. And those of us that served in Germany and usurers, what they called it, those of us that served in Germany that experienced that lifestyle, there is a particular bond that we have. I got to experience that. I got to experience getting lost. At 11 years old, I was lost on a trip. Matter of fact, it wasn't a trip. I can't remember. Trip, not trip, doesn't matter. At the end of the day, I was lost. I was 11 years old in Worms, Germany, trying to find my way. Matter of fact, it was Würzburg. Anyway, I was there. I could not find the group of people that I was with. And there was a black woman that was at a booth. Matter of fact, it was Würzburg. I was in the 5th grade, and it was a Christmas thing that we went to. I have to give this backdrop. My group went to this Kris Kringle market, and I was lost. I remember that vividly now. I was lost. There was a black woman that was right next to me on the right-hand side that was at a booth. And I thought she was with our group. And I tugged on her shirt. And I'm like, hey, I'm so scared. I thought I lost you. And she turned and looked at me. And her next words was, was ist los? I didn't speak German at the time. But was ist los is like, what are you doing? She didn't understand a lick of English. And it freaked me out because I'm like, yo, you look like me. And you don't understand English. So I was lost again. So as an 11-year-old in a foreign country, terrified, lost, whatever. I said all that to say this. I do not understand when someone takes the American flag and they deface it. It really just it does something to my psyche. It does something to the fabric of my spirit. Like it really just, it tears something inside of me, because there are so many people, not just white Americans, not just Asian Americans or Irish Americans. From my perspective, there were hundreds of thousands of black men that gave their life in the Civil War for this country. They died under that banner of freedom, even though they were not free. They gave the ultimate. And to see someone take that flag and stomp on it and spit on it and deface it, it does something to me that I cannot explain. I don't know how this makes you feel. I don't know where this puts you in a mental place. I don't know if it makes you angry, if it makes you happy, if it makes you sad. I just don't know. If I were to see that in person, I honestly would have to plead the fifth, because I would have to tell you, I guess I'm not responsible for my actions at that point. If I walk upon a crowd and someone is destroying the American flag, I swear I hope I never have to see that. I probably will, but I hope I never have to see that. This is my frustration, man. Uganda and some other Western African countries have already said that they would love to have new citizens. I'm sure there's other countries on this planet that you can go to. If you really hate it that bad here, if this country is so horribly racist, please someone help me understand, why is it that there are hundreds of thousands of people that are practically risking their life and limb to come here? This is what I don't understand. Like, if you hate it this bad, pack your stuff and leave. Like, nobody's holding you here. There isn't a governmental agency here that says, Black Americans, you have to stay here. Like, you have to stay. You can't leave. Okay, there's COVID. But once the restrictions are let up, I don't know, can you fly now? I don't know, can you? Yeah. Can you leave? You can fly?
I don't know about going to another country.
Maybe not. Listen, if there are restrictions and they raise the restrictions, then by all means, man, please pack up your stuff and leave. Like, you don't have to stay here. If we're so oppressed, why do you choose to stay? This is what I'm trying to understand. This is where I'm trying to figure this out. Instead of sitting in the streets and wasting your time doing all of this, and it's almost like, it's almost like someone that is in a sorry, disgusting, oppressive, destructive relationship with a partner that they might not physically beat you. Who knows? They might. I've never been in that situation. But it seems to me that if you're destroying the flag or you're angry at the United States and you say this is so oppressive and it's so racist and it's so hateful and it's so this and there's no opportunity for black people ever, and we're like, if that is real, let's stop playing games. Let's keep it a hundo, as we say, if that is real. And we're so oppressed. This, to me, it seems like a person that is in a relationship that you continue to go back to your house, you continue to sleep there, wash there, eat there, live there, do whatever you do on a daily basis, and you continuously complain that your spouse he doesn't love you or she doesn't love you, she's cheating on you, he's cheating on you, he's beating you, he's disrespecting you. But yet every day, when that person goes to work, you still choose to stay there. That to me is so mind-boggling. Like, it doesn't make any sense. It just doesn't to me. It doesn't. Listen, I've been called so many foul names by people that look like me. It doesn't even matter anymore. So this is not a self-hatred thing. I don't hate myself or hate black people or I'm biased towards my own folks. There's so many different levels of racism now. I don't even know what is racist. Like, everything, there's microaggression, there's micro racism, there's source racism, there's economic reserved backwoods, a double stack race. Like, where does it stop? At the end of the day, if you do not like it here, please, man, pack your grip and get to stepping. Like, why can't you just do that? How hard is that? Like, I don't understand. How hard is that? And it doesn't matter if you're black. It doesn't matter if you're white. It doesn't matter who you are. If you don't like this country so much, just please get up and leave. I'm sorry.
There'll be a lot of excuses.
Maybe so.
My family's here. I don't have the money. But you know what? Where there's a will, there's a way.
That's possible. At the end of the day, I honestly, and I need this. I'm not here to pick a fight, but I'm here to make a statement. I need to know if the United States of America is oppressing Negroes. If there is a system in place and there are laws, can someone please point out to me exactly what law it is that is causing you from getting a job, from being successful, from starting your own business, from being employed with any company in the United States of America that does not require a bachelor's degree, and at this point, The POTUS has, what I understand, has already passed laws that he is wanting skills to be highly considered, even more so than a college education. Not only that, if you, and this is so bad that I have to say this, but if you're a felon, I remember 20 years ago, you could forget getting a job, man. Maybe go down to the Goodwill. They might throw you on and whatever. But now, if you're a felon, they even have laws on the books that if you're a felon, they will give tax breaks to corporations for hiring you. Like, someone please tell me, where is this unadulterated, just visceral law that is so damning to black people, to white people, to any people in this country? I need to, please someone help me. I seriously need to know what that is. You have, what I don't understand is why we are allowing the filthy rich to continue to tell the economically challenged folks how to remain poor. Why we allow the rich to allow us, why do we allow them to teach us or tell us how to remain impoverished? This is what I don't understand. I love LeBron James. He did a lot for he built a school up in Akron. Okay, I get that. Steph Curry, I get that. These people are so far detached from black America, from poverty. Like, this dude had a $90 million contract with Nike before that's before any of his NBA money. I don't understand how he can. Oh man, I don't know. I'm lost. So here's my thing. We are allowing the privileged, we are allowing the elite, we are allowing the rich to incite us in a way to make us to remain continually angry at society. So much so that they can sit in their palaces or their mansions or whatever it is. LeBron James, for one, he's got white people serving him hand and foot. They sit in their seclusion while you're out angry and you're fighting tooth and toenail with 16 cops in the street, getting arrested, getting shot with rubber bullets, burning the flag, being angry, being emotionally charged. And nothing's changing. Like, this is where I'm lost.
What about our conversation in the car today? And you were talking about the oppression. And you were talking about if black people are so oppressed, why do we dominate basketball?
Yeah, and I get all that. Okay, so because and I understand that because we have a lot of athletic ability. I don't want I understand, like we practically lead, and there's not every black person cannot be a LeBron James. But let's just look at this.
Right.
We lead in every major athletic event in this country. If I can even say this, even makes sense. So sports, professional sports, basketball. Who's your top basketball players?
LeBron.
They're men of color.
Yeah.
Boxing.
Yeah.
Even if they're not black American, they might be brown. They're men of color.
Right.
I'm not too familiar about Major League Soccer, but I think we're doing pretty good in that. I can't speak on that.
Right.
The NFL, your top.
Absolutely.
Okay. If you're into fitness,
Golf. Tennis.
if you're in golf, for 20 years practically, Tiger Woods, even though he's still the number one golfer in the world. Serena Williams, Venus Williams, people of color. Listen, American culture is 100,000% black culture. Fight me on it. There isn't anything that like commercials. They're influenced by hip hop. What is this game that these kids are playing now? What's the game? What's that?
Fortnite.
Okay, these people have made billions of dollars by people buying dance moves created by black youth that are in hip hop that create these dances. That little silly floss dance and the doo-wop or whatever. Like, world culture is influenced 1,000% by black culture. Remember, there used to be a saying, they hate us because they ain't us. Mm-hmm. I mean, I remember back in the day, you remember that? I remember back in the day, they used to clown black women for having big lips and big booties. That was a song. What was that? Was that 2 Live Crew? Oh, Becky, look at her butt. You remember that? Okay, the intro into that song. They used to clown us because we had big lips and big hips. Now, women that are of non-melanated, that aren't black. Let's put it like that.
Right.
Or that are not of an ethnic, the majority of women that are non-ethnic are paying to get their lips injected with steroids so that they can be fatter, and they're paying to get their breasts done, and they're paying to get their butts lifted. It's called a Brazilian butt lift. Oh, like, listen,
Kardashians.
Yes. So the list goes on and on. At the end of the day, here's my point. I need someone to please explain to me this level of oppression, because I was homeless. Listen, I don't have no shame in my game. I was raised, I already told you before, I gave you a backdrop. I had no business being homeless. I had no business sleeping in a car. I had no business being in the streets. For 3 months, I had nowhere to live. I was here. I had a job. Went through a horrible situation with whatever. I went through a bad situation. I had no business being in that situation because I had resources from my childhood. I should have stayed the path. Okay? But look at me now, from homeless to a business owner. From homeless to a business owner. I am filming this podcast in my kitchen. I was living in my car. Okay? I had some legal issues on top of that. Please, someone tell me, where is the oppression, the systemic oppression, the laws that are keeping us down? Now, granted, I understand people have their bias toward black Americans. People have their bias, period. I get that. That's not systemic. That is a cultural thing. That is a teaching thing. There's no law in the book that says you can't do whatever it is in this country that you want to do. There's no law that says that. There's no rule that says that. If you put in the work, if you put all of your energy, all of your power, all of your might, everything that is a part of you as a human being, as this entity, if you take every fiber of your soul and you put it into your dream, the universe will conspire together with you so that you can make that dream become reality. That's all it is. Like listen, we cannot continue to blame other folks for our own personal choices in life. I have been taught that. I believe that is a brick in the foundation of everything that I am. We are where we are right now because of choices that we made. Period. There is no ifs, ands, or buts. Hard stop. We are here right now because of choices that we have made personally, choices that we've made spiritually, physical decisions that we've made, things that we thought that, maybe we should do this, maybe I shouldn't do this, whatever it is. We're here because of a choice that wherever your life is right now as you watch this, you're there because of a choice that you made, not because someone is oppressing you.
So I think probably more of the issue right now is that everybody's upset that they're getting treated unfairly, which, that does happen. That there's more,
Listen.
prefer treatment to white people versus black people. I think
That does
is
happen.
the big uproar
You know
right
what?
now.
Yes. Again.
And it does happen.
Again,
Yes.
that is not a system, which is something that is a law. There is no law. Okay. Let's just cut it in the bud. Do people actually have bias? Yes. We're talking racial bias. Absolutely.
Yes.
And are black folks mistreated in the legal system than white folks are? Yes. I have seen that yes, they are. There is no law that says if a black person is caught with 10 grams of cocaine and a white person is caught with 10 grams of cocaine, there is no law that says the black person must serve 10 years to life and the white person only gets counseling. There's no law that says that, but does that happen? Absolutely.
Absolutely. The black person will get that. Absolutely.
Absolutely.
I was actually just watching a video.
And and because of that, that is not a system. That is a bias that must be addressed in your local voting booth. Period. Hard stop. If you do not like the way that your judges and your prosecutors are performing their job, then you must. It is your inalienable right to go to that voting booth and remove them from office. And if you can't remove them, then why don't you put yourself in a position so that you can potentially run, go to school, get whatever it is, whatever that position is.
You don't need to.
I guess. So at the end of the day, this whole destroying the flag, man, if you don't want to be here, please do us all a favor and leave. Like, just do yourself a favor. You will be happier somewhere else. So there's that, man. If you guys have any comments you don't agree, please tell me, Big Kev, I don't agree with that. This is what I think needs to happen, or you know, whatever it is. If you agree, please. If you like the video, please, by all means, hit that thumbs up. If you don't, then hit the thumbs down. It doesn't matter. But please, let me know how you feel in the comments below. Again, thank you for watching. We have to get along better, man. I'm gonna leave it there. So I'm heavily frustrated, but I'm going to end this here. So again, for all the sponsors of the channel, thank you. For everybody that's watching, thank you. I appreciate you. Love you and peace.